Check, check, check. Hello, everybody. What's going on? It's Marcos Villegas here. Fight Up Beat live chat coming to you July 6th, 2020 in the year of our Lord. It's kind of hot right now in Southern California. Thank you for joining us, for tuning in. Got a few interesting things to talk about happening in the world of combat sports. But before that, make sure to tell all your boxing and combat sports homies that we are live right now. I got to send out this tweet to tell everybody on the Twitterverse that we got the live stream going. I'm glad that I'm surprised I've been consistently able to do this, to be honest, because believe me or not, believe me you, this actually takes a good amount of work to put together, and it's taken a good bit. I'm still trying to figure out this stream deck that I have here because I want to incorporate sound effects in the live stream. Whenever you guys like come in and ask like an interesting question, I like want like a weird sound effect to go on. But I got to tweet this out, and we'll get right to it. So I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to already put in the questions that you guys, not the questions, but the things you guys want to talk about, because obviously with all these live chats, like you guys dictate like what the heck we talk about. So go ahead and put in your fight queries. I should change the name of that, fight queries, while I go ahead and tweet out the link on the Twitterverse. Live chat. Boom. And right now. Man, this weekend, bros, drank a lot, man. You know, when you don't drink for a long time and then you reintroduce all that poison in your system again, and you start drinking again, that messes you up big time, man. I freaking feel it. I'm not hungover, but like I feel the residual effects of the alcohol. It's terrible because I didn't even drink a lot. All right, let's get going. Marcos Levy, what's up, man? What's up, Tocayo? What's going on? Alp Sports Gang, what's up, my bro? Mika Salberg, what up, bro? Good to see you, Mika. All right, let's get right to the question. Mika, man, you get the first crack while I crack open this nice, refreshing mini can of Coke Zero. Coke Zero, taste that you love. It's good. Who do you think Manny fights next realistically? Man, that's a toughie because Manny's in the Philippines right now. It's tough for like the international fighters. What's up, Sensei Sama? To get fights because of the travel restrictions. And I think it's going to be even more difficult in the future for a lot of these international fighters because of how bad the cases here in the U.S., where I could see them not willing to come here to the U.S. because our Rona rates are out of control over here. The Rona is running wild over here. Man, yeah, people are over it. People don't care. They just want to go and party and have a good time and live life. I understand, I understand. It's it is what it is. People have been cooped up for months on end. I've been pretty good in general about being socially distant and everything like that. And if I do hang out with people, I make sure it's no bigger group than 5 people. But with fighters, I could see a lot of them not electing to not come to the U.S. because of our rates. Now, in terms of Manny, I know the plans were to have him fight Spence. That was the plan before the Rona hit, before the dark times. If not Spence, it was Mikey. Those were the two, and Danny Garcia. Those were the 3. I think now, not too sure. I haven't heard anything from that side regarding who is the most likely candidate. DAZN's not back yet. PBC on Fox isn't back yet. What's up, Hurricane Hank? Here I am. Bah, bah. Rock me like a hurricane. Bah, bah. What's up, Hank? That's going to be your intro when I figure out this stupid stream deck that I bought and I've had here for 3 weeks and I still can't figure it out. So yeah, that's what the most likely for Manny, honestly. Here's the weird thing. So he still has one more fight left on his PBC contract. Eddie Hearn and DAZN say that he doesn't, that he can choose where he wants to go, which technically PBC fighters can. They can go, I think, from my interpretation, where a PBC fighter can show up on DAZN, but it has to be under special circumstances. But I highly doubt they'll let Manny go to DAZN, because Manny's like a marquee guy. He's a pay-per-view fighter, and they really need pay-per-view buys. So yeah, I don't know if he'll show up on DAZN. My best bet: Manny versus Garcia, Danny Garcia, or Manny versus Spence, because that was the plan. That fight was supposed to happen, I believe, in December in a pay-per-view. It's all right. More people here. Chain TC, salute. What's up, bro? Terry Smoot. Manny needs to get it on with Bud, or it's when he wins the WBA regular. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about the WBA and their multiple versions of. It's like the Infinity Gauntlet. Imagine like an Infinity Gauntlet, and all the gems are like just different WBA belts. I like the president, Gilberto. He's a cool guy. He's always been to me. It's just way too many belts, and you got to think, well, why is he doing it? For the sanctioning fee. This is where I would have pushed another theme song with Ted DiBiase. Money, 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 money. That would have been the song playing right now. But I haven't figured out my stream deck. Coke. There you go. All right, yos. Sensei Sama, thoughts about Billy Joe Saunders declining the Canelo fight. Do you guys see Billy Joe's comment that he left on arm? It's arm. It's arm. Arm's here. What up, bro? You haven't missed much. We just barely started about 6 minutes ago. Billy Joe Saunders, he's a funny guy. He posted this response to Eubank Jr. On Twitter. Here, hold on. Let me pull it up. This thing's hilarious what he said. So Eubank Jr. said something like, oh, yeah, you're a drug cheat, blah, blah, blah. And then Billy Joe Saunders. I'm going to read to you the exact thing that he wrote to him because it made me laugh out loud. All right, this was Saturday morning. You know what? It even got Willie Monroe Jr. to comment, who fought Billy Joe Saunders. All right. So Eddie Hearn already told everyone why my fight with Triple G didn't happen. 2 months isn't enough time for the drugs Billy Joe Saunders uses to get in shape, to leave his system. So he pulled out of the Canelo fight, ... And then Billy Joe Saunders wrote, the only drugs I use is Viagra for when I dismantle your mom's fanny. I read that and I was like, oh my God, that is hilarious. He's a funny guy. Can't agree with some of the stuff that he does in the past to people, but he's a funny guy. I give him that. He has a funny sense of humor. Now, in terms of him pulling out, well, you said it had to do with, I think, the shape that he was in, I believe. Arm says it too. I think BJ Saunders is out of shape. Gyms are closed. Sparring's bad. Fighters don't have motivation to work out. Like, what are they working out for? They don't have big fights lined up. So I can see it being a little bit more difficult for a fighter to get motivation for a fight. Shoot, man, look at us. I don't even feel motivated to work out. I mean, I didn't even work out over the whole weekend. But because I was celebrating America's birthday, celebrating freedom. Not really. I don't know where I got this gist of energy from because I was feeling like crap the whole freaking day. I don't know. I think it's because I'm with you bros and everything like that. Hotter than the Ice MK Mortal Kombat. You guys play the new Mortal Kombat at all? Yo, America. F yeah. I love that song. That's like the Hulk Hogan's theme song, I'm a Real American, and the America Team Police are the two unofficial songs of America. Okay, I'm trying to read this comment here. Boxing Ego, Aki, K, TC are the ones I was talking about. What are you talking about, bro? Hotter than the Ice, Mortal Kombat. Okay, Grizz IMR, welcome to the chat, bro. How's it going? Thank you for joining us. So this is one of the thumbnails. Oculus Quest is really cool, actually. This shit gets me dizzy as all. So we'll talk about Street Jesus. Don't worry. We're going to talk about that because I am super hyped about Street Jesus saving the day, giving us a badass fight. Remember when they confronted each other at Super Bowl? I've been waiting since that time, man. All right, we're going to talk about Luke and Ryan, and then we're going to talk about Usman and Street Jesus. Okay? The Bias Channel's live streams. No comment. I just want to be cool with everybody, so I don't want to beef with anybody anymore because a lot of people don't like me, and I just don't want to beef with people anymore. I want to build a community, okay, and I want everybody to get along. That's what I want. Kurt Angle one is a good one too. Yes, it is the Kurt Angle thing. That is true, but you can't say you suck during like fireworks and stuff. You know, you can't be saying that stuff. All right, I'm all ADHD right now. Welcome to the Fight Hub TV live stream. If you haven't subscribed already to the channel, subscribe, please. We got tons of cool stuff for you to watch, like free fights, knockouts, and like the best interviews like ever in the history of the world on our channel. So subscribe and follow us on social media at Fight Hub TV. All right. Yeah, smash the like button. Okay. Luke versus Ryan. So one thing that I think is going to happen in that fight, in terms of the bookmakers, is I think they're going to put Ryan Garcia as the favorite in the fight because he's the younger guy. He's been more active and he's quicker. And he's the, I guess, more name recognition. People know about him. But honestly, Luke Campbell should be the favorite in the fight. Well, I'll tell you why. Because at this point, regardless, Ryan looks like he's the goods, man. Ryan looks like he's the truth, okay? But Luke Campbell is like weather tested. He's fought in the better competition. He lasted 12 rounds with Lomachenko. He lasted with Jorge Linares. He's fought in better competition. I wouldn't say, well, yeah, he is. At this point, he is more. You can make the argument he is more accomplished. He's challenged for a world title. Ryan hasn't challenged for a world title yet. You know that Campbell can take a punch. And still the verdict is out if whether or not Ryan can take a punch, if he really has a chin or not. Grizz IMR is saying he got dropped by Little Loma. Yeah, but look how long it took Little Loma to drop him. And he's a bigger guy as well, you know. And, you know, body shot doesn't care if you're 150 pounds or 250 pounds. A well-placed body shot is going to put any guy down regardless of the weight. So that doesn't really mean anything if Lomachenko put him down because of that. You place a body shot, telling you, anybody, any weight class with enough force, it's going to put them down, man. Those things hurt. You feel like you can't breathe. It's like an electrical impulse goes through your brain and it shuts everything down. It sucks. I've been hit before in the liver, and yeah, I was like, it's not a good feeling at all. So with that, I was looking at it and I'm like, Luke should be the favorite. He's southpaw. He's tall. He's rangy. He's tricky. Gold medalist. A lot of experience. Looking at on paper, okay, solely on paper, based on who they fought, what they bring to the table, you can make a strong argument that Luke Campbell is the favorite in that fight. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Okay, you know, I understand that hotter than the ice, MK. Keep saying that he's feather-fisted. True, he's feather-fisted, but that doesn't mean because he's feather-fisted he can't win the fight. You know, he should. I could see him being the favorite, and honestly, I would not be surprised if he won the fight because I think Luke Campbell's very, very underrated. He just hasn't been able to get over the hump in fights because the guys that he's fought just happen to be elite level, really, really, really good fighters. The ones that come to mind, of course, most recently for you fight fans is Jorge Linares and Vasily Lomachenko. And Jorge Linares, up until he got touched with that body shot, I was there live at that fight in New York. I had Lomachenko up by 1 round by the time of the stoppage when he hit him in the body. 1 round. It was a 1-round fight. I think officially Lomachenko was up by, I believe, you know what? Somebody check on that. I want to say he was up by 2 rounds, but he wasn't up by big. That fight was extremely close, and Linares had a terrible camp. Want to know why? Because I was in his camp. I went and saw him 3 times in that camp, and I'm like, oh my God, this is really bad for Jorge. Like, too many chefs in the kitchen. He had like 3 trainers telling him 3 different things. He did not have a good camp for that fight, and look at the performance that he did. So that even with that, when people are saying like, oh, Linares versus Garcia, Ryan Garcia is a mismatch. I don't think so, dude. That can be a tough fight. That can be a tough fight. Yeah, I understand that Jorge doesn't have the best punch resistance when it comes to fighters, and he's been knocked out by Mexicans multiple times. But I don't think Linares is as washed as a lot of you fans, a lot of you homies and bros think, dude. I think there's still a lot left of Jorge Linares. So with the Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell fight, Luke is a live underdog in that fight. That's a tough fight for Ryan. And I read a thing that Ryan accepted the fight, that they're trying to negotiate it and work it out. But props to Ryan for taking that fight, because Campbell's been the distance with some tough guys. Could you guys see Ryan going the distance with Lomachenko? Let me ask you guys that. Put your responses here on the comment section. Let me know. Okay, that's a good gauge, dude. If you don't think that Ryan Garcia could last 12 rounds with Lomachenko, then this is going to be a good ass fight. Okay, it's going to be a really, really good fight. It's not going to be a one-sided fight. It's going to be really, really competitive. Because Luke was able to go the distance with the Lomachenko. All right, the other we're going to get to Street Jesus Usman in a bit. Grizz, you see Ryan knocking out Lomachenko. Really? I don't know. I think Grizz right here is trying to troll us here. I don't know. Linares looks like he's getting his second win. That's very true, man. I still think there's a lot left to him. Art says it's going to be a great fight. Loma has too much experience for Ryan. I don't see Garcia goes 12 rounds with Rome. Okay. So you get where I'm coming from then with yes, I understand. Styles make fights. I understand that. Ryan's the younger guy, the quicker guy, the more explosive guy. But Luke is a tough freaking dude, okay? Tough guy. Olympic pedigree. He has the fundamentals there. He won a gold medal, so he can make it extremely hard on Ryan in that fight. Yeet, what up, bro? Nice to see you in here. All right, I see a few guys that actually think Ryan Garcia would knock out Lomachenko. Let's see. Hurricane Hank, he hasn't fought anybody at that caliber. It's very true, which why I think people are sleeping on Luke Campbell. The bookmakers are going to make probably Ryan the favorite. But, I think they're sleeping on Luke. I think that's an even fight, if not a little bit leaning towards Ryan because of his speed and his explosiveness. But it's going to be a great fight, man. I can't wait for that fight. I hope it gets made, because that's a really, really good fight for both guys. If Ryan dominates Luke, like just makes him look like he's nothing, like he just toys with them and knocks him out, that to me will show me that Ryan is what they say he could be, that he's living up to the potential. He still would have to face an elite level guy that's on the same level as him, that has been able to win a world title, and that's seen as like, where Ryan's seen in that fight as not being the favorite, and he beats that guy, boom. Ryan's the guy. Ryan's the guy that's going to carry the sport for the next 10 years, if that happens. So we'll see what happens. I see more people thinking that Luke Donatella that's going to win. DJ 2020, what's up, bro? What's going on? Yeah, dude, Ryan's training videos are dude, his speed is crazy, man. He's one of the quickest guys I've seen in person. I would say him, Nonito Donaire, Manny Pacquiao, Gary Russell Jr., probably the fastest guys I've ever seen in person. With honestly, Gary Russell and Nonito Donaire being the fastest guys I've ever seen. When Nonito lets his hands go, when Nonito was in his prime, and I got to see, that's right, Amir Khan too. Those three, I would say. But when Nonito was in his prime, he did a MIT workout. He had like a mixed workout with Mark Munoz at the Rain Training Center in Lake Forest, California. And Mark did his workout. It was like an MMA and boxing thing. Mark did his workout. Then Nonito was there with, I believe, his dad, and they did a MIT workout. Nonito let go like a 8-punch combination. And I was like, holy, what the hell? Like, I was amazed at the speed of Nonito when he lets his hands go. So I would say, yeah, top 3 fastest I've ever seen is those 3. Amir Khan, Nonito Donaire, and Gary Russell Jr. All right, guys, keep the questions coming in. Thank you all for being here so far, man. Happy Monday. I hope you guys had a good, productive Monday, man, and that you guys didn't drink too much over the weekend, because I am dragging ass because all the booze that I drank. Not really. I didn't even drink a lot. This shows you I'm such an old man now. I have like 2 drinks and it messes me up, and I'm hungover for 2 days. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. That's terrible. Okay. Saw a question here from yeah. I think Luke has a good chance of utilizing his jab and experience, but some knockdowns may arise here and there. Totally agree, bro. I could totally see a knockdown happening in the fight. Rob C, what's up, bro? Yeah, man. You like the Mega Man shirt? Super Fighting Robot. Mega Man. Remember that cartoon? That was a badass cartoon. I love Mega Man. Mega Man's cool. Donier versus Inoue was a scrap for the ages. Yeah, it was a dope fight. Donier's knockdown against Montiel was quick as fuck. Dude, his knockdown against Vic Darchinyan, man. That Vic Darchinyan knockout came out of nowhere. Hey, bro, Vic Darchinyan. I liked Vic. Vic's a funny guy. The other topic, watch, I saw a thing here, a comment that one of you guys, Chain TC. All right, Chain. So Chain brought up 2 questions here that I'll touch on because I think they're a good thing to talk about. Okay. Is Charlo ducking Andrade? I know he's ducking Canelo. And is Lomachenko ducking Haney? Okay. So I'll go to the Haney one, and then I'll touch on the Charlo one. Virgil fighting Vargas. Yes, that's at the end of this month, I think. So I don't think Lomachenko is ducking anybody. So you have a guy that's won 2 gold medals, that's won world championships in 3 different weight divisions against guys that are bigger than him, okay? Because he's a smaller guy. Currently now, in any fight that he fights at 135 pounds, everybody that he fights is bigger than him, okay? So he's already given up some advantage. He's given up size. He's given up power in these matchups, okay? So for a guy to do that, who's moved up multiple weight classes, he's not scared of anybody, okay? He's not scared to fight. I think fighters in general aren't scared to fight any opponents, okay? He didn't request the franchise belt. Any fighter, okay, their job is to fight people for money, okay? And they're so comfortable fighting people for money. It's like second nature for them. It's like, and I've used this example so much. It's like a stripper being nervous about dancing at a club. You're a damn stripper. That's what you're supposed to do. How are you nervous? That's your thing. It's the same thing with fighters. They've fought in their whole entire lives against opponents that are big, opponents that are small, even when they were younger. The fighters in general are not scared to fight. What happens is, this is what happens. Every fight you got to look at is it could be possibly your last fight. Okay, so shit can happen. You know, let's not gloss it. You know, bad stuff can happen. So you got to make sure when you get to that level of a Lomachenko, that level of a Canelo, you know, at that elite, almost megastar level. What's up, Ahmed? That the fights that you do have are worth your time. That's just like me, like you guys as well. You know, people hit me up for interviews all the time. I got to make it worth my time. I got to make it so that, if I do an interview with somebody, I'm going to get views because I value my time. Same thing. If a fighter's going to fight somebody, it better be for a good amount of money. They don't want to be wasting their time with Joe Schmo. I'm not saying Devin Haney is Joe Schmo because he's not. He's going to be one of the stars in our sport. He's legit. But I think that's more or less what it is because, excuse me, they just want to make sure that they have mega fights with opponents that can sell at this point. But I personally don't think he's afraid because look at the guys that he's fought and the weight classes he's moved up. That tells you a lot. If there's a guy that was scared to do that, he would have stayed at the weight that he was at. Now, in terms of Charlo and Andrade, I wanted to see Charlo and Daniel Jacobs. What happened to that fight? That was a great fight. Both were like talking ish to each other and back in the locker room, you know? So I'm kind of sad that fight hasn't happened. I would have thought that fight would have been easy to make. Charlo, Andrade, that's the other thing. I think Charlo wants big name opponents. Let's not gloss it. Andrade's not the biggest name in boxing. Even casual boxing fans don't know about him. The hardcore boxing fans know about him, but him and his team haven't done the best job marketing wise to put his name out there. And his fights at times tend to be a little bit boring. Not gonna lie, it is what it is. It just sometimes it's kind of boring. But he's legit. He's skilled. He's elite. He deserves it. Certainly, I've vouched for him before. I think these guys should be giving him a chance. But I think Charlo at this point is in the same position like a Lomachenko is with the whole Devin Haney situation. They want fights that are worth their time to them. And in the case of Charlo and Andrade, I'll get to you, Art. In the case of Charlo and Andrade, I'm thinking they're probably looking at it as what's the risk reward there in that fight. Okay, it's a big risk you could lose to a guy that doesn't have a huge name, and that in turn impacts. Whether we like it or not, a loss impacts a lot in boxing, which is total bull. We shouldn't think like that anymore when a fighter loses. But, a fighter loses and boxing fans or just casual sports fans, because it's boxing, tend to say that dude's trash, garbage, exposed. Once a guy loses, when it's like he's just been having a bad night, or they're still a great fighter. They still give you entertaining fights. Who cares if he lost or not, But with that, okay, say he loses to Andrade. That hurts his star power. Doesn't make a lot of money because Andrade won't bring in the viewers, won't sell the tickets in the arena because he's not a big name fight. So they look at it as like it's a high risk, low reward. Let's move on to somebody else. Let's move on to a Chris Eubank Jr. Okay, Chris Eubank Jr. has a name. He'll bring British fans. There'll be interest overseas. He has a pleasing action style that looks more attractive business-wise of a fight to make. Okay. Now, in terms of Canelo, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It's kind of hard for a PBC guy to fight a guy on the zone, and vice versa, especially when that PBC guy is one of their main stars. And Canelo is like the zone's like biggest star too, so they're not gonna let him go to do his own thing as well. They paid $364 million to go and keep him. So that's my take on that, man. What's going on with all that? Thank you. What's up, Mint Berry Crunch? Mint Berry Crunch. That's the name of the week right there. Mint Berry Crunch. All right. Oh shit, 92 AKU. What up, man? David Lemieux, you are next, my friend. I was born ready. Okay. I've never heard of Gabe Oots, so follow us on our Instagram at FightUpTV, okay? And send me links to a few of his fights so I could check them out, so I could watch. And if he has any like knockouts or anything like I could check out, send them to me so I can know a little bit more about him. All right. Mohammed Asala. All right, now we're gonna get to shoot. Okay, there's a question queue. All right. So there's a good. Oh, okay. Art brought up a good question. Did you? Okay. Art. You gotta work on your grammar, bro. Okay. All right. So Robert Garcia started a YouTube channel. What do you think about fighters, trainers broadcasting for themselves instead of going through the media? So if you haven't noticed, there's a bunch of fighters that have started their YouTube channels now. Ryan Garcia, Francis Ngannou, Robert. There's tons of them. It's important for fighters to create their own platforms. Look, LeBron did it. And I think that's more of the trend that they're following, is that it's a way for them to build their brand, to get them more exposure. So I think it's good for them. Obviously we play a role as well, because when they have fights coming up or they want to get the word out on a newsworthy thing or something that they want the public to know about, they want to tell that story or expose whatever thing that they're selling or they're involved into as many media outlets as possible. So that they're always going to have a want to talk to all the media outlets, because they want to get their messaging across to as many people as possible. That's like PR 101 and marketing 101. You want to get your branding or your product messaging out to as many people as possible. But I think it's a good thing. It gives you guys more content, more access to them, and allows them to build an even stronger foundation to their fans. If I was an advisor or a manager, I would tell my fighter to make their own YouTube channel. It's only going to benefit them. It's only going to make them better. And I wouldn't say only do interviews for your own channel. No, that'd be dumb. You want to get yourself out there to as many outlets as possible. So I don't see it as a bad thing, but other people might. But I think it's everybody else is doing that, and I think people started noticing that when LeBron started doing his the thing that he does, and then later Kobe with the production companies that they have. Right. So let's go to another question here. Who's better for money for Loma than Haney? Money-wise, who's better for Lomachenko than Devin Haney, says Mika Salberg. That's a good question. What do you guys think? Is there a guy at 135 pounds that's going to make more money for Lomachenko than Devin Haney? Well, here's the problem, too. Devin's with DAZN, okay? So it complicates things a little bit more. Teofimo Lopez is actually, you can make an argument, more well-known than Devin Haney by the casual fans, because ESPN's been pushing Teofimo Lopez on their platform, and ESPN is the hugest platform for sports. I don't know what their Twitter following is, but or the Tank. There you go. Marcos Levy just helped answer the $1 million question. That's honestly, I don't even need to look up that Twitter or Instagram followings. But I'm gonna check it out. It's just to double check who has the bigger following. So Devin has 736,000. Teofimo has 160,000. So I'm wrong. Devin's way more popular. I don't know anything. Don't listen to me. But Tank Davis has a bigger following than that. And I think Tank is the fight that Lomachenko's been wanting for a long time. And that's the other thing. If you use the reasoning that you used with Lomachenko being afraid of Haney, then why hasn't Lomachenko's called for a fight with Tank? Why hasn't the fight with Tank happened then? With that same thinking, would you say that Tank Davis is scared to fight Lomachenko? Me personally, I don't think so, because of what I told you about who fighters are. They're fighters, they fight. But if you use that reasoning, you could make an argument based on your reasoning that Tank is afraid to fight Lomachenko, which is not my personal opinion, because I know sometimes people will twist things, they'll record sound bites out of context. So I just want to make that clear. I'm not saying that, but I'm telling you, with that reasoning, you can make an argument about that. All right. Next question, bros. Let's see here. Minberry Crunch, a great source. Force Kin. I don't know what Force Kin is, but you're funny, bro. Tank. Everybody's saying Tank, 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 Tank. Tangoose, David Lemieux, Beterbiev and Bivol would both lose to Ward if he was back. If Andre Ward were to fight, Beterbiev or Bivol? Let me think on that, because obviously Andre's not been active. He hasn't been training. Virgil said in an interview that he did with me that he'd want to have Andre Ward have a tune-up fight to get some of the rust off. I think Bivol is vastly underrated. He has tricky rhythm and timing, just the way that he trains, and just when you see him fight, like you look at his rhythms, like really, really weird. Beterbiev, I think Andre would have an easier time with, to be honest. Oh, wow. Grizz thinks Ward would get stopped against Beterbiev. I don't know. I think Andre would kind of befuddle Beterbiev. He'd jab the stomach, get close, hold, work on the inside, break his rhythm up, because Beterbiev just comes in straight lines. And some people here don't like Andre Ward. Okay. I think Bivol would be a trickier fight for Andre Ward than Beterbiev, but I don't know. I think some of you guys disagree with that. Bivol beats Beterbiev, but Ward beats Bivol. Ward can't clinch him, though. This dude is strong. He pushed Vosdik like a doll. He's strong like bull, bro. That's because of all that freaking training, that crazy training they do over there. Me personally, I think Andre beats Beterbiev. But I think he has a harder time with people. Okay, next question here. Hey, Marcos from DJ 2020, exclamation point, exclamation point. What about interviews with fighters who are a few fights out of the limelight to bring back to their name? Like a kind of like, where are they now? I've thought about that. I've honestly thought about that. I think that'd be a good idea. Problem is, it's hard to get a hold of these guys sometimes. That's the problem. And then because they don't have PR people, and if you don't have their contact, it could go through a bunch of other people that know them, and that takes time. But I do agree. Rob C, what up? I watched the documentary Icarus you talked about. Wow, crazy. Yeah, I told you. Did it ruin sports for you? Because I saw that documentary, and it ruined sports for me. I'm suspicious about every single mofo out there in sports, especially Olympic sports. They're all cheaters, dude. Everyone is cheating that comes from those countries, man. They're all juiced to the gills on those supplements, those special supplements. 92 AKU. Yo, when that Showtime boxing schedule coming up? I think Showtime's putting on a fight with David Benavidez. That's their like return fight coming up in August. Because I was told that PBC on Fox is coming back in August as well, but that's tentative. They're not sure about that yet, but I know we will get boxing from either Showtime or PBC in the month of August. So we'll see what happens with some of the fights that we're going to get on, I think, the PBC side first, either on Fox or on Showtime, are the fights that were canceled because of COVID. The ones that were already scheduled to happen, and they canceled it because of COVID. I think those are going to be the fights that we get back right away. Now, in terms of pay-per-view, you know, they're talking about the Wilder and Fury 3. I think that might be a little wishful thinking because they have to pay these guys so much money, okay? No life gate, limited interviews, and the interviews is what pushes the fight, or like limited media stuff because everybody's at home. So it's a hard sell, dude, especially if you take the gate revenue out of it. You know, that's why you got to respect what the UFC's doing with putting on pay-per-views. And them being successful because they're stacking their pay-per-views. Yes, I understand they don't pay the UFC fighters as much as the boxers. I get that. But you got to give them props. They are stacking their cards, and they have very, very competitive cards. You know, we've seen with some of the boxing matches that some of the fights are not competitive. So a pay-per-view, if they're going to charge $80 in this economy, it better be a stacked card. It better be competitive. You know, I want my money's worth, man, because I'm struggling right now. I'm outside selling oranges and apples. I could say that because I'm Mexican. All right. I think they should discount the pay-per-views. To be honest, cut them down to $50, $40. Shoot, the UK gets them for $20. What the heck's going on here? Renee Box Young, what up, bro? How's it going, man? Welcome to the chat. Everybody who's in here for the first time, what's up? I'm Marcos Villegas. I'm the founder of Fight Hub TV. Hello. Subscribe to our channel at Fight Hub, where we have tons of content for you every single day, just about in the fight game. Fights, knockouts, interviews, the best interviews ever in the history of the world. And go ahead and follow us on social media at Fight Hub TV, and follow me as well at Hey, it's Marcos V. Okay, back to what you guys want to talk about. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna scroll through your guys' questions. Okay, start throwing in questions. Start throwing in things you want to talk about. I'm gonna pick one of you guys' questions to. Oh, okay. So here's the one thing that I did want to talk about, because obviously it's in our thumbnail, and Grizz is talking about it. Jorge gets praised for a 6-day notice fight, but he has 16 losses. Imagine if a champion in boxing fought a dude with 16 losses. Obviously, they would shit on him. They would be like, what the heck? Look at this guy. He's fighting some bum. Which we got to stop as a boxing community, man. We got to stop conveying that thought, the ethos that because a fighter has a loss, it's a death sentence. It's not, man. It's not at all. Oh, that's funny. Let's HK40. You're a funny guy. We got to stop with that, because you look at a guy like, look at Duran. Look at how many losses that he has. Even Oscar. Oscar had 6 losses before he retired. Everybody loses, man. So it doesn't mean that they're not a good fighter anymore. It's just when you fight elite level competition, you're not always going to win. It's what it is. It is what it is. That's what's supposed to happen. You look at other sports. Look at some of the records of the NFL teams that make it to the playoffs or even make it further. Some do have great records going into the playoffs, but some of them don't. Because they're playing against elite competition every week, week in, week out. And when you fight elite competition, you might win some, but you're going to lose some too. It's supposed to happen. That's what happens. You could have a bad day. So we need to go ahead and stop saying a fighter is trash if they lose a fight. You look at a guy like Gabe Rosado. Gabe Rosado still has a lot of fight in him. A lot of great fights. He's an entertaining fighter. Like Gabe Rosado is like the equivalent of a Donald Cerrone. Look how popular Donald Cerrone is. Look at the matches that he's still able to do. That's what I don't get sometimes. Yes, you make a good point. Most of the people we consider to be great in boxing retired with multiple losses. Okay. Donna probably the only fighter that had some losses and still was welcomed by the community. Another guy that had a lot of losses? Orlando Salido. Great fighter. Great fighter. Look, he beat Lomachenko. He was a world champion. So yeah, we got to stop. But my worry about this Usman versus Masvidal fight is the short notice that Masvidal has. Usman's been training for a fight, and he's in shape. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, if you approach a fight with 6-day notice and you haven't really been training for the fight, how would you approach the fight? You have better stand-up than the guy. That's for sure. Endurance-wise, probably I don't see him going 5 rounds and being good to go. So I think, hey, he's going to be conservative a little bit. He's going to choose to have the fight standing because Masvidal has better striking, in my opinion, and he's gonna go that route. Just kind of try to dictate with the striking, not work as hard, keep a conservative volume, pick his shots, and see where it goes. So we'll see what happens, but he's in a big disadvantage into this fight because Usman has had a full training camp. And Masvidal, Mr. Street Jesus, hasn't. So that's I don't know. Part of me thinks like, okay, what if Masvidal just goes in and just blitzes this fool? It just blitzes him because he knows I don't have the gas tank. I know I can't go 5 rounds. I have a good 2 rounds in me. I'm just gonna blitz this fool in the first round, and whatever happens, happens. I took this fight on a 6-day notice. If I lose, I'll be like, yo, I didn't have a proper training camp. Give me a proper training camp. He has a great fight or something crazy happens in the fight. Fans are going to want to see it again. So he's probably thinking like that in that situation. I'm just going to go and see what happens. Grizz IMR, he thinks, I don't think Masvidal is making garbage money for this short notice fight. He did them a solid. I think they're going to compensate him real well because of that. UFC always does that, though. They always have late notice people in their top cards. Z, great fighter, even though he got popped for drugs, says Hammer and Hank. I think Masvidal fucked up on this short notice fight. Yeah, but he's been wanting to fight this guy forever, man. Remember that clip that they had during the Super Bowl where they both confronted each other? He's been wanting to get this fight for a long time. Hotter than ice, MK. I talked about that last week. I'm not buying it because I've been in locker rooms before. And I know that they inspect everything, so I'm not buying it. If there was tampering, I think the commission would have caught it because they're there inspecting everything. But I went to it in depth last week. If you want to go ahead and pull up last week's live chat. Okay. Oh, come on, bro. 92 AKU. Come on, Doc. You're getting a little ridiculous there. Getting really ridiculous. Rupert Max, you think Masvidal will struggle on the ground if it goes there? We've seen what Kamaru done to Woodley. Yes, I do. Which is because I thought about it. Okay, it's not good for him to be on the ground because obviously, yeah, Kamaru was very good on the ground, but I'm thinking of it conditioning wise. If I'm Kamaru, I know this guy's had a 6 days notice. He probably was in training. I'm going to try to drown this guy in deep water. I'm going to make him work really, really hard. I'm going to try to take him down because I don't want to strike with this guy, grind him out, and make him tired and try to get him that way. So I really think that Masvidal is going to try to keep it standing as much as he can and have a good pace where he's able to, I don't want to say conservative pace and volume, but throw enough where he doesn't gas out in like the first 2 minutes. Unless he goes and completely blitz him, which I wouldn't put it past him, to be honest, because like I said before, he's probably like, hey, what do I got to lose? You know? Muhammad says it's a lose-lose for Masvidal in this fight. Usman has been training for a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu opponent now, a striker like Masvidal. If he loses it, bad for him. If he wins, Masvidal took the fight in 6 days' notice. That's true. And if something crazy happens, fans are going to want to see that fight again because they're going to be like, look, this fight turned out this way with Masvidal on a 6-day notice. He didn't even train for you, dude. Give him a full camp. Let's see what happens. And it's a totally plausible argument to have a second match. We will probably see a second fight between these guys. Unless one or the other completely just blitzes the guy and knocks him out like really quick, where people are like, well, that's nice. Next, Andrea Cajon. Hola. Hi. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on social media at FightUp TV. Meow, meow, meow. All right. Marcus Dechozin is talking about the 160-pound division in boxing. A lot of guys there. If Street Jesus loses, he can always fight Nate again for the bag. That's Arm. Look at Arm. Arm trying to pick up on the chat right now. Let's all look at Arm. Let's see Arm's game right here. Sorry, Arm, for putting you on blast, bro. But I saw that and I thought it was kind of funny. What up, Joe? Joe Garcia. Papa Joe, welcome to the chat. Subscribe to the channel. We're just BSing now, man. We're just whatever comes up, dudes. All right, you guys. Hey, where are you guys all from? Any of you guys here from California? Dude, yeah, giggity, 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 giggity. What up, Arm? That's why I like you, Arm. Yeah, 4th of July was like a nonstop war zone for like 3 hours straight over here in my neighborhood. I don't know where all these fools are getting these firecrackers from. If you're in the LA area, let me know where your firecracker plug is because I want to be shooting off rockets next year, nonstop. My neighbors literally brought out mortars, okay? And they were just dropping the fireworks, lighting them. And it's like, do, pop, pop, pop. It was the funniest thing. I had the best fireworks show over here in my neighborhood. And I live in a very suburban neighborhood. It's all Koreans here, Korean and white people. And I don't know where these guys got these fireworks from, man. It was funny. Let's see here. You guys are telling me where you're all from. Let's see. If any of you guys have the firework hookup, let me know, man. Baja. I didn't know you were in Baja, Arm. That's pretty cool, man. I used to live in Baja. Used to go, not live, but I used to go to TJ a lot as a kid. My summers. Texas. What up? Birdo. Dallas. What up, Dallas? San Antonio. What up? One of you guys got fireworks from your cousin. Well, where'd your cousin get it from, Art? Come on, bro. You got to tell me. They get it from Team Neno out in Riverside. 909-951, what up? Guillermo Sanchez, I'll get to that. Everybody's shouting out where they're from. Where are you from, Guillermo? Where are you from? San Antonio, what up? Micah, LA, Hollywood. We got Mohammed from Detroit. HK, 40 Cal, Escondido, San Diego. Hey, do you go to HK? Is that why your name's HK? You know what I'm talking about, HK in Tijuana. La comida china, okay. Richmond, California, Buddha. NYC, Guillermo, okay, man. Thanks for, dang, it's pretty late out there, man. Thanks for tuning in so late. I do not live in Irvine, but I live in a suburb in Orange County that's very similar to Irvine. Neno said he made $22,000 yesterday off of fireworks. Wait, hold on a second, Grizz. Does he sell the fireworks? Because if he does, I'm going to hit him up because I want these fireworks for next year. Rio Grande, what up, man? I've been over there to the Rio Grande. What do they call it? The Rio Grande Valley? I think when Brandon Figueroa fought over there, man. Dude, your guys' bar scene over there in shoot, what's that city called? Where's this? Not Westlaco. Okay, I don't. The city where we had the fight, that's right next to the border, right next to Tamaulipas. Your guys' bar scene is freaking nuts over there, man. You guys have a street full of bars in that city. It's like 12 bars, and it gets popping at night. Everybody was smashed that weekend we went to, man. It was the funniest freaking thing. Hollywood got all, but where in Hollywood? I need to know. Send me a DM on the @FightUpTV. Let me know the connects, man. Team Neno is the plug. All right, Grizz. I'm gonna look for Team Neno. Toronto. Dang, you guys are all over. McAllen. Was it McAllen? I'm not sure, man. But if it was McAllen, McAllen gets popping, man. McAllen's like a sleeper town. So I'm gonna give you guys a little travel tip, okay? If you want to get crazy and not spend a lot of money, where the chicks are actually pretty, like they look good, they're thick, they're Latina, they're good to talk to. Go to McAllen, dude. McAllen has this street full of just bars, and it feels like it's a little TJ. it blew my mind because it honestly reminded me of Calle Revolucion in Tijuana. If you guys ever been to TJ, Eastside LBC. No, I don't do that, bro. DJ 2020. I'm not allowed to do that. That's seen as a big no-no for us in this, even though other people do it. HK is yes. 22,000 selling fireworks. I'm gonna hit him up, man. He's the plug. With used to be in Long Beach, Panama. Marcos, good to hear from you from Panama. HK, damn, Donatello's been to HK. Okay, all right. Arm is probably going to hit you up. All right, we got a super chat. Vertigo. Thank you, bro. Thank you for that. So we're going to go ahead and answer that question right away. When is that Teofimo Lopez Lomachenko fight dropping? So according to Bob, that fight's going to happen in September. And the tentative plan is that Bob, September 19th, that Bob hopes that at that point, there can be some fans allowed to watch the fight, even though I think that's wishful thinking, at least here in the States. But he's hoping to get some fans. Teofimo Lopez did an interview yesterday, not yesterday, I think Thursday, when they had the top rank fights, saying that he's ready to go. I know my friend had knowledge. But we've discussed that fight here on the live chat plenty of times. It's a great fight. It's going to be a massive test for Teofimo Lopez. He's young. He has youth on his side. He's explosive. But Lomachenko, it's a handful, man. But the thing is, I don't know. I haven't seen any clips of Lomachenko training, so this thing might end up biting him in the butt. To be honest, we've already seen a good amount of upsets. Shout out to Clay Collard. Clay Collard, 2020 Fighter of the Year front runner, right there, man. Another upset in the bag, and then he's returning, man. That guy fought Max Holloway in the UFC. This COVID thing is going to mess up a lot of people in terms of them losing in fights. Going to be a lot of upsets. I think we've already seen them, but I think when it gets to the bigger name opponents, we're going to see upsets too, because people can't get sparring. The gyms, some of them are closed. It's not adequate sparring. I could see sparring partners not wanting to travel because of everything that's going on. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that fight. But September 19th is the tentative date with, I think they said, some capacity of fans, but I have no idea how that even would work. With fans in the arena, like what protocols would be taken in place with that. But that's your skinny on that fight, bro. Donatello says, no, my friend. Yeah, right, your friend. Okay. Yeah, I got a friend, too, that goes there all the time that tells me about it. Yeah, sure. Arm. All right, let's see here, Arm. They're going to do it in September. That's risky, dude. Canelo wants that date. Yeah, but Canelo's going to fight on the Cinco, not the Cinco, Mexican Independence Day weekend. I bet that's his date. So Teofimo and Lomachenko will probably be the week after, which it is. Okay, Top Rank almost robbed Joshua Franco. Yeah, that was kind of a weird card, man. And it was weird because Robert even told one of the judges, like, hey, don't do that to us. Don't do that to us. And his card was like way, way off. I don't know. Dude, the judges still suck with no fans, with nobody there. And they're like right there in front and center. And they're still giving out crappy scorecards. Some of them at least. I don't understand. Have a fan meetup in TJ at Hong Kong? Yeah, that's a disaster waiting to happen. It might be fun too, though. Hit the like. That's right. Usman is about to shut it down. The Masvidal hype like he did with Colby. Jose, man, we talked about Street Jesus versus Usman. I personally don't like the fact that he's doing this fight on such late notice, but I think that Masvidal obviously has an advantage striking. And dude, HK40 Cal wants to go. He has an advantage striking, and I think he's going to keep it standing. And if he could conserve his energy and be really selective with the punch output that he puts out, he could extend whatever chances that he has to winning the fight, because Usman's going to try to drown him because he's already had a camp and he's conditioned. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Vertigo. Who wins in a fight, Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia? So Vertigo is using the super chat. I barely found out about the super chat about like 3 weeks ago. I had no idea what it was until I researched it. So if you guys have a pressing question that you want answered or you want to discuss, you can go ahead and do the super chat. Who wins between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia at this point? At this point, That's tough, man. That's a tough fight. Man, okay. Ryan's bigger, longer arms, longer reach, I think. I could be wrong, but from what I see, longer arms. They're both quick. I think both have good fast twitch. Boxing IQ-wise, it's looking like Haney is more knowledgeable in there in the ring. I think in terms of one-punch knockout power, Ryan has it, more one-punch knockout power. But it's difficult to kind of assess because of the opponents they've both faced. It's their opponents have been in there to make them look good. They haven't been like the top fives of the world, so it's kind of hard to gauge how they would react to adversity, because I don't think they've ever had an opponent yet that they've had to fight through adversity in their fights yet. So that's why it's a harder bit of a time for me to think who would win that fight. Man, you could see Ryan up early in the fight and then Devin start taking over as the fight progresses. But I think Ryan's quicker. And you'd see a lot of hooks trying to be landed from Ryan, a lot of jabs, a lot of hooks. And I think he might be the quicker of the two guys. Arm brings a good point. Ryan has the better coach, but I think Devin has that fast switch. And when I see Devin, man, like I look at him and think like, damn, like this guy there's something special there. Like he's very complete at that age, and you could tell right away, like, dude, this guy's very, very complete. But I don't know. It's hard for me to tell. I think if Ryan fights Luke Campbell and then we see Devin in there with a very good guy that's maybe top 10, it'd start giving me a better picture of who would win that fight based on the opponents. They have fun. But at this point, it's hard to see, but it would be, you could say it would be a 50-50 fight, where maybe Ryan would win the earlier rounds and then Devin would start analyzing the info and then little by little making adjustments, where it could end up being a fight that it's like a 2-point fight, a 2-point round between the two. That's what I think. All right. Let's salute from Scotland. But he has a weird name. What's up with that name, Scotland? You know what I learned? I have a Scottish friend who works for IFL TV, okay? And I wore a flannel shirt. And we were out to dinner with a group of friends. And he told me, hey, that's a nice tartan shirt you have. And I was like, what are you talking about, bro? Tartan shirt? Like this thing here, the plaid, you mean? Like this is a flannel shirt. And he's like, no, that's not a flannel shirt. That's a tartan shirt. And I'm like, no, it's not. Who the hell uses tartan? And we proceeded to go back and forth for about 20 minutes on who's right with their shirts. He didn't believe me that a plaid shirt in America is called a flannel shirt. He just couldn't comprehend it. And same with me. I couldn't comprehend that a tartan shirt is a plaid shirt over there in Europe. And then he proceeded to tell me like that Scottish people have been wearing tartan kilts for the longest time, and because they've been wearing it for longer, that it should be called tartan instead of plaid. It was hilarious. And I learned something new. I have no idea that a plaid shirt is known as tartan. So yeah, big ups to you over there in Scotland. It's a country that I'd like to visit at some point in time. Yeet, what up, bro? Which fighter do you think would be more important for Canelo to have on his resume for his legacy, Beterbiev or David Benavidez? I think his legacy is already made, man. Look at all the guys that he already has on his resume. You got Canelo. Excuse me, not Canelo. You got Cotto already on there. Shane Mosley, Floyd Mayweather. Who else? Landy Lara, Austin Trout, Amir Khan. Yeah, a lot of guys on there that were former world champions, man. So I think resume-wise, he already has a lot of people on there. So I don't legacy-wise, I think Canelo for the most part is going to be a Hall of Famer. His legacy is already built out. But I think out of those two guys, I think what would be better would be David Benavidez, because him fighting Beterbiev he doesn't belong in that weight class. Canelo's not a light heavyweight. He's not a 175-pound guy. So I think Benavidez is the more likely, but if we do end up ever seeing that fight, it's going to be towards the end of Canelo's career, where he's already, older, and it's apparent that he's not in his prime anymore, because usually that's what happens. And Benavidez is really young. I think Benavidez is like 22. So if that fight does happen, I think it's going to be like one of those things where Benavidez, it's like a passing of the torch, and Benavidez is going to be that new Mexican star to carry on boxing. But it'd be a great fight, man. David's still learning, still growing as a fighter. So we'll see what happens, man. I think if they take the fight now, Benavidez doesn't lose anything. If he does lose, just like when Canelo took the Mayweather fight, he didn't lose anything. He learned so much from it and helped build his profile. I think it'd be the same thing with Benavidez. So I don't think it would be a mistake if they took that fight now. But I would advise against it, just because Benavidez has a long time in this game, and he doesn't have to take that fight right now. He still has a lot of fights at 160 pounds that he can go ahead and take. All right, let's see here. More questions. If you guys are joining us for the first time, just make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 1 million subscribers. We cracked 800,000, I believe, last weekend, man. I'm stoked, but we need 200,000 more, so please subscribe, share the channel. What up, Eric Pham? What's up, bro? Thank you for joining us here. Subscribe to our channel. We've been on for an hour talking about all sorts of stuff. But make sure to follow us on social media at FightUpTV, and follow me as well at Hey, it's Marcos V. Donatello, what are you talking about? Go to Wildcard. You'll meet lots of diverse people from Hong Kong, Japan, Russia, diverse gyms. Yeah, that's very true, man. That is true about boxing gyms. Boxing gyms, you find a smorgasbord of people from different walks of life. J.E. Spinoza 90, Marcos, you be taking snack supplements. Yes, I do, and they work. I was skeptical at first if they really worked or not. And I took them. I take the ZMA, which actually works. You ask people that worked with us, and they'll tell you the same thing. Their ZMA helps you get better sleep. I used to not be able to dream for the longest time. I started taking the ZMA that Snack has, and I had more lucid dreams. And I feel like in a better mood when I go ahead and take it. The other thing that works really well is the Expedite. The pre-workout. Excuse me. Works really, really good with getting a pump. So yeah, their supplements actually do work because I've used them, and I'll be honest with you. Yeah, the ZMA helps you sleep. It helps you get a better, more productive, deeper sleep, and it gives you lucid dreams, which I like because who doesn't like having cool dreams? So check it out. If you use our code FightUpTV1, I believe we can get you like a 20% discount on the snack supplements. So go ahead and go to Snack and buy the supplements, because I'm being honest with you. I wouldn't endorse it if I didn't think they worked. And I tried all the supplements. They work. I use the Expedite. It gives me that extra little kick. The other supplements, I used to stack them. They have a fighter stack that I would stack during my workouts. And I was like, oh, shit, okay. These things actually work, because I knew like the weeks before I was hitting a wall in my workout. I'd feel tired, and then I started taking the supplements and I felt good. So they actually work. I vouch for them. Yes, check it out further. Ped. It's funny. Hey, Jesus. First of all, Rio Grande Valley, what up, man? I love Rio Grande Valley, man. It's a lot of fun over there. Even though there's one thing about Rio Grande Valley. You guys make tacos the tacos there are very, very odd. They're very different. I think they don't even use carne asada. I think they use like ground beef with like grilled onions on it. I'm used to like TJ tacos, so it's like a lot different. For 17th Street, McAllen, there it is. That's it. If you guys are over there, if you go to McAllen, Texas, go to 17th Street. It gets freaking popping over there. Yeah, I don't know why you don't get YouTube notifications. Make sure that the notification button is on for the channel, so you can get notified when we have videos coming up with the live chat and all that. Okay, back to Jesus Cardenas. Quick question. What is the point of Fight Island if fights have been happening here in the U.S.? The reason for Fight Island is because there's travel restrictions due to COVID-19. So some people from certain countries can't get into the U.S. easily because there's travel restrictions, and vice versa. There's a lot of countries now that are not allowing Americans to travel to their countries because of our COVID rates that are so high right now that they see it as a danger to them. So that's why they're doing a Fight Island in, I believe, Abu Dhabi to kind of bypass that. So the international fighters, they're still able to travel to Fight Island, but they can't travel to the U.S. So that was their way around it with that. But I'm not sure what the travel restrictions are for Americans flying to Abu Dhabi, but I know there is travel restrictions for some international fighters flying into the United States. So go around is Americans are able to go to Abu Dhabi probably, now that I think about it. And other international fighters who couldn't go to the U.S. can go to Fight Island, and we can get fights. And that's why they have Fight Island. Like that little breakdown, huh? There you go. Virgil Ortiz is fighting at the end of the month, bro. You got to fight announced. He's fighting Sammy Vargas. Adrian Benavides. What's up, bro? What's going on? Who's my top 10 pound for pound? I'll give you the top 5 in no particular order. Canelo, Lomachenko, Terrence Crawford, Inoue, and Usyk. Like, you can maybe put Tyson Fury as number 5, actually. Those are my top 5 currently. You could interchange 3 of them. Inoue, Canelo, 4. Inoue, Canelo, Loma, and Terrence. They could all, you can make a strong argument for all of them being number 1. McAllen has those cute northern Monterey broads. Yes. Chicks over there in McAllen are hot, man. And I could attest for it because I was there last October. And I'm telling you, their bar scene is popping. They get crazy over there. The bars don't close till like, I think in McAllen? No, I think it's at 2, actually. 2 or 3. I don't remember. But it's fun, dude. They got a lot of clubs there. Everybody's there having a good time. We went there for a Fox fight for Brandon Figueroa. Yeah, everybody got smashed, dude. It was fun. It was fun. That's all I'm telling you. I highly recommend it. The city itself is not allowed to see or do, really. I guess you can go to Mexico, but don't go to Reynosa because you might get kidnapped. Go to Progreso. That's a little bit more chiller of a border town over there. But yeah, go to 17th Street over there in McAllen. It gets popping. All right, HK40 Cal Esco, thank you for the super chat. So what week are we spending in Hong Kong, Tijuana? no weeks right now, man. I'm not trying to get the Rona from these Rona hoes. What the hell, man? I like my lungs right now. I want them to function for the rest of my life. I ain't trying to catch the Rona. Come on, bro. Is Hong Kong even open right now? Are they open? I don't even know if they're open. I know you could go to Tijuana at this point, but I don't even know if. Let me know if Hong Kong is even open now. That's kind of. Do they wear masks while they're dancing? Like, how does that even work? Are they taking the proper safety protocols to make sure that I'm having a safe drunk experience over there at HK? Can you tell me that? You know? I don't know if that's going on there. Okay. More questions. All right, we can do Adelitas then. What is this Adelitas? Is Adelitas? How do you know about Adelitas, DJ 2020? What's up, bro? How do you know about that place? I don't know about it. All right, Kid Top Skull. We've been talking boxing for the past hour. Like I mentioned, this chat doesn't have to be about boxing, combat sports, MMA. This chat is whatever you guys want it to be. Talk about random stuff. We can talk about other sports. We can talk about life. You know, we were talking about how Neno freaking made $22,000 off of fireworks over the weekend, and he's the plug for fireworks. So I'm gonna hit him up next 4th of July. It's next door. Okay, see, I haven't been there in forever. Yeah, it's that is not a face mask though. That's a mask for your part, but it's not a face mask unless you tell them to turn around so they don't breathe on you. Oh man, you guys are fucking awesome. Okay, I shouldn't have cursed because now we might be flagged for like strong language, which sucks. Has Canelo's resume surpassed Juan Manuel Marquez's resume? If so, what fight? Oh, that's a good question, man. Juan Manuel Marquez has wins over Barrera, off the top of my head. Pacquiao, knockout win. Lost to Bradley. Lost to Chris John. What other wins does he have that are like big marquee wins, Juan Manuel Marquez? So Manny Pacquiao is an all-time great, okay? And the only all-time great that Canelo's faced at this point that's really at that level is Mayweather, and he lost to Floyd pretty bad. And Marquez went tit for tat with Pacquiao in all those fights. So is his resume up there yet? I don't know. I'm having a difficult time saying yes to that. I think people hold Marquez in a higher regard in Mexico, maybe. Over here in the U.S., I don't know. Canelo still has a lot of years left, so he might end up surpassing Marquez in that sentiment. And, Marquez was a master counterpuncher as well. Casamayor, Catsitas, Baby Bull Diaz. That's true. But Canelo's a pretty damn good counterpuncher. Is he on the level of Juan Manuel Marquez counterpunching? No, not yet. But he's a damn good counterpuncher. But Marquez was a master counterpuncher. I think by the end of Canelo's career, man, we might be saying that, yeah, Canelo could have a better resume than Marquez or at a higher level, even though I have Marquez very, very high on that list with the top Mexican fighters. But, yeah, that's actually it's a tricky one, man. That's a really tricky one. Did Marquez beat these guys? He beat these guys in their primes, in their divisions. He didn't make them go up. So you could say that his wins are worth more, that they hold more weight than Canelo. Canelo, saying like with the big wins that he's had, like Cotto, they're saying that he made Cotto go up, even though they didn't even fight at 160 pounds. Lost to Floyd. Golovkin, he fought, but it was a little late, but still, there was still a lot of Golovkin's prime left, or a lot of Golovkin left. Danny Jacobs for Canelo. I don't know, man. That's tough. I think maybe at this point, Marquez's wins hold a little bit more weight at this point than Canelo. But, I'd have to really go back on the box rec and see what records these guys had coming into those fights against Marquez to kind of maybe base a better decision, because he did face an in-prime Erislandy Lara. He faced a prime Austin Trout, which were both difficult. Trout beat Cotto. Lara was being avoided like the plague. Cotto's a Hall of Famer. But he has that knockout win over Manny. And he went life and death with Manny. All those fights, many of which a lot of people feel that he won all those fights against Manny. So except for the first one. The first one he definitely lost with the points and all that. So yeah, who knows? All right, guys, hour and 15 minutes in here to the live chat. If you're a first-time viewer, on to the live chat. Thank you so much. We do this every Monday at 8:30. When we do live chats, go ahead and please subscribe to our channel, Fight Up TV. We give you daily boxing and MMA content, daily and interviews as well. Help us get to 1 million subscribers. We're on that road, 800,000 over the weekend. Thank you so much. Share this with all your friends and family that like boxing, and follow us on social media at Fight Up TV. Hey, it's Marcos V. I'm in the chat, guys, because I still got a lot of work to do, and I got to work out because I didn't work out the whole weekend because I was too busy getting lit off of 2 drinks and then having the hangover for 2 days. So with that, I'm going to end it, bros. This is it. I'm going to end it. I hope you guys had a happy 4th of July and that you guys have a productive week this week, man. Be safe, be merry, be kind to each other, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on social media. I will do some pull-ups. I'm going to go probably run 5.5 miles now. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, guys. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.